All aboard your tech news, games, and deals caboose. We have some Razer going pink with just about everything. And we also have Fortnite's new update 7.3 with chiller grenades and also mobile controller support. So you can get in gaming pretty good on your phone. So let's start off with a Razer. Basically, they added a bunch of peripherals. They added some pink keyboards, some mice, and even their Razer Blade stealth laptop for when you need to go undercover into some girls' party, I guess. You'll be pretty undercover. So all the pricing is the similar price, the same price as the other versions of different colors. So black versus pink is $1,600. The laptop only comes in the one version with the MX 150 graphics and the full HD display, so you can't get the 4K touch. So that is an option there. And there's also a bunch of the mouse, the headset, the Razer Kraken Quartz Pink headset. And then they have the Razer base station, 3 USBs, the microphone they have in pink. They even have a Razer Phone 2 case, the quartz case for that. And then the extended mouse pad, it looks like there's a little pink accent right there. And then there's another mouse pad with pink all the way around. And then there's the pink cat ears you can attach to your headset. So that's pretty cool, I guess, if you're into pink. So you can color it up. And also Razer adds the Razer Care Elite protection to the Blade laptops and Razer phones. So this is an accident protection. Both protections that include 3 years for laptops, 2 years for phones, and you can extend that. But basically you can now get drop, spill, fall, and collision protection for your Razer products. And the price comes a little bit more expensive, $70 more for the phone, and $150 at the high end for the more expensive laptops, so $450. So, I mean, if it saves you for 3 years of not having to worry too much about stuff, then it might be worth it to you when you're already spending around $3,000 or so on a Pro 17, plus or minus. So there is that from our Razer, and this actually just came in. This is AMD Radeon 7nm GPU Firestrike and Times by Benchmarks leak. This is by Tom API Sack. We see him a lot leaking stuff for the AMD, and basically we get some benchmarks here. Here's his Twitter and some graphics scores that were posted. And WCCF Tech made a little graph for everybody. This is comparing the Radeon 7 again versus the 2080 Ti RTX. So we're seeing they gave us a 30% roughly overall. But the price, they give us a price difference of 42%, so it's higher performance per dollar. So on Time Spy, these are all graphics, Firestrike Ultra graphics style stuff. So 8,051 versus 6,800. So there is that. So here's your little benchmarks. You can check it out and read a little bit more and get hyped for Radeon 7 or not be hyped if you think it shouldn't cost $700. So there's that. And then we also have Notctua. They just released their thermal paste of their second version, the NT-H2. Great naming for that versus the NT-H1. So basically the new part is the fine-tuned mixture of metal oxide particles for even a lower thermal resistance and a reduced bond-like thickness at typical mounting pressures. So we're going to see up to a 2 Celsius temperature difference just for the difference from the first thermal paste to the second upgrade. So we get to see 2 different packages, and get to see 3.5 grams and 10 grams. So they said 3 to 20 applications depending on the CPU size, how much you want to use. So you'll get a bunch out of the 10 gram. And the pricing comes in at $12.90 versus $7.90 the previous version. We actually have some Amazon prices. It says $25.90 on the larger one from Amazon versus $24.90, so $1 or so difference. And these also come with their cleaning wipes, so make it a little bit easier on you. You don't have to go get all the alcohol and all the stuff. It's pretty easy to clean CPU paste, but either way. And here are the actual performance results from Notctua. And at 140 watts all the way up to 300, you'll see a 0.2 degree difference at the lower end style stuff, 0.6 for AMD. And then when we're looking at 200 watts, we're starting to see 1.1 degrees. And then at an AMD Threadripper 4, 300 watts. So if you're into overclocking or Threadrippers, then you'll start to see the actual 2 Celsius difference that they are mentioning, up to 2%. So once you get into higher overclocking and you'll get some actual performance out of this. There's other thermal paste out there, like the Thermal Grizzly, which is around the same price, a little bit more expensive, that you may get better performance with, but this is Notctua. And the paste, they did kind of do a little slip up. It's just thermally silvery gray paste. They could have done some brown or white colors to the paste to make it, sell better. But I mean, that's just, it doesn't matter too much. You won't really see it. But either way, they could have done something cool there. And we also have Samsung with their 8K TV. They just recently announced that they are getting some upgrades to their 8K display driver IC. Their DDI is what they're calling it. And they're getting speeds up to 4 gigabytes per second. So what this is basically is for 8K TVs, and they can basically reduce the need for additional components for the outer perimeters, the bezel size where everything connects to the monitor, and they can design for slim bezel-less TVs with display sizes 65 inches and up. So they're doubling the speeds for their display driver IC, and you will be able to see more slim bezel-less 8K TVs, because we need that 4 gigabits per second transfer speeds. So that is coming. And if you're not super hyped for 8K, if you're in Japan, you can satellite TV it. Otherwise, it's mostly be for like TVs, 8K gaming, if you want to game or something with like dual RTX Titans or something like that, because that is on YouTube. There's a gamer actually playing some stuff. So there's that. And then we also have some game news with Fortnite 7.3 patch, and they add the chiller grenade, and they also add some mobile controller support for your phone. So now you can wreck people who are just using their thumbs. And eventually we might see keyboard support like Xbox is doing. And then you might as well just play in the PC. I'm confused. But that's good for people who like using mobile controllers on their phone. There's a limited time mode, solid gold, so everything's going to be legendary, it looks like. And then the actual grenade knocks players back and chills their feet for 7 seconds. And we have a video from Acidic Blitz showing this off. He throws a grenade. It's about medium range, and he went flying off the edge, and you're slippery for quite a while. They did some other little testing. The actual counter to this is a snowman. You have to actually be crouched, otherwise it will hit your feet and still hit you. So you have to be crouched so you're not exposed. And so that was a pretty interesting find by them. It also works on vehicles, freezes the wheels, so you'll slip around a little more driving. And it doesn't throw you because it's pretty heavy. They figure it out pretty quick. So cool little video there. And then there's some other little mentions. They vaulted 2 sniper rifles, heavy shotgun SMG, suppressed SMG, looks like it's coming back. And then there is a couple creative stuff. They're still supporting their creative mode where you can create your own levels. They're doing a lot of different stuff for that. They're adding some music, piano keys, and music blocks. So it'll make your own original tracks with this, it looks like. Get pretty cool. And then Arctic Base prefab, where you basically can just create something really quick by throwing one thing and a bunch of things spawn for you. So you can get building really quick. And then Save the World, the X-ray llamas we talked about just a couple days ago, is basically letting you see what's inside the llama first to try to get rid of a little bit of the gambling aspect, and it refreshes every day, as well as a Spectral Blade is coming for the week's Fortnite challenge. So unlock that for Save the World. Cool stuff for Fortniters and builders, I guess. And then Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 2, we get some patch notes. So basically they're adding the Spokesperson 4 vehicle, which is a Axis tank, and basically there is a top gunner position for this tank, and you can remotely control a machine gun from the safety underneath and slay people while being protected. They're also changing some of the practice range stuff, and also the Panzerstorm map gets a bunch of changes. Just a quick couple mentions for this. They're basically making it more balanced for soldiers versus vehicles. They're adding more cover, specifically to Flag F, the swine farm. There was originally just one building, and now they're adding a set of farm buildings, so you'll have more cover. And then there's some oak trees to get around easier with some actual cover for foliage. And then there's a bunch of patch notes. You can go through 11 pages of it, detailing basically everything. And they added some foot sound differences. They increase the difference you can hear them at, and then they note the different changes in decibels and stuff for sound levels. So that was pretty interesting for you Battlefielders. And also Dreams, this is the PlayStation exclusive. Basically you can create different things and everyone can basically play it, which most people will probably be doing, but it's been hard to describe, as even this article, Sony has had a difficult time communicating what this game is. Basically also because it's still in beta and they haven't really done too many trailers, but it's a difficult game to describe because it's really for creators to like build and create stuff, and then for everyone else to basically try stuff out and check out all these amazing creation stuff they're doing. So this is a small little preview from Push Square, and they talk a little bit about creating like an American football game, and then the next minute you're creating something else kind of. You program the game loop, but your quarterback character is currently a cube. And then, well, it's time to go dream surfing, search for a Tom Brady lookalike for your fits your creation. So you can kind of create with other people too. People can create in the same level as you, and then you also can get assets from other people who've created stuff, which is pretty cool. You can make crazy levels and stuff. And then pick one that's already been created and you'll both get credit for your work. And you may even decide to work together in the future. Perhaps you don't like Tom Brady, you can do Aaron Rodgers instead. If you're football fans, you'll know these people. And also they do a comparison in this article. This isn't like a little Big Planet where you pull stock assets that are pre-designed. So previously in Little Big Planet, you could just build stuff really quickly, grab an asset, throw it there. And then in this game, Dreams, you can basically, every sound aspect, every piece of art and animation and the logic, so different changes and stuff, you can make things move and do different things, are built on a DualShock 4. So you can use the DualShock 4 controllers or PlayStation controller, it looked like they mentioned, and they did a bunch of other comparison. You can browse other people's creations, so that's one of the big things for probably the majority of people. Everyone will probably try to create stuff. There's some tutorials at the beginning. You can actually create different levels and build different like puzzles and stuff, but then you can just try other people's stuff, and that's what's currently been leaked the last couple days through the beta. So a lot of stuff is being leaked that you can check out. So this is just a pre-release version they mentioned, and the concepts being uploaded are staggering, and they talk a little bit about some of the stuff. You can make RPG movies, you can record albums, create cartoons. So if doing anything creative wise interests you, you'll definitely want to check this out, and you'll still want to check it out just to experience everything yourself. So you can check out this article and give it a full read, but I just wanted to highlight a couple things. And that leads us into Destiny 2. We get the annual pass last world trailer. So basically today we're going to be able to play the Draw Exotic quest and get a cool weapon. And there's some good action fighting from this person, and he shoots something out of the air, which probably wasn't going to explode behind him and hit him in the first place, but you might as well shoot it anyways. It's beside the point. So the Draw Exotic quest begins January 29th today, and coming soon in the season of the Drifter is something for villains, because every hero needs a villain. And with that last little shot, you saw some thorns, and people in the comments are saying, the thorn in my side. So you might know what that means if you like thorns and villains and stuff. And also there is a 2.1.4 update, some balance changes to different classes, the slinger, gunslinger, and other stuff. You can check that out. And then here's we're on February right now, so the exotic quests. So we have some other stuff coming, more exotic quests, Joker's wild weapons and gear. So get hyped for some more Destiny 2 if you're still playing. Cool beans, cool beans. And with that, we will have another episode tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, and occasional bonus episodes if there's something special going on late night. And we'll be signing out. Pew, 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 pew.